Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 29 September 2022. It's Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. And it's going to be a fun one. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little housekeeping, shall we? First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I'll also print them down in the description underneath this video. Please be familiar with them. If you're brand new to this weekly sales event, I suggest not only that you read the terms, but you take a look at the video that is linked, one of the 3 videos linked in the top of the description. It's called A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. Also in that list of 3 videos, the second one is to my FAQs for consignors. That video explains how this sales event works from the consignor's perspective. So if you're interested in moving some of your collection along and you don't want to mess with selling it yourself, check that video out and get a hold of me. Then the third link in the description is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. And then at the very bottom of the description, below those 3 links, below the terms of the sale, you'll find a list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps to the video on the left side, and then pricing on the right. Most of the knives will have 2 prices. One to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown. The one on the right is as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. There will be spots for 4 knives to be sharpened next day this week. So the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened will be done tomorrow, the 30th, and they will ship with all the as shown inventory. If you're outside that first 4, expect your sharpened knife to ship in about 3 weeks. I believe that's it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you see sold in the pricing column, SOLD, all caps, exclamation point, that means that knife has been bought and paid for and has a new owner, so no need to send an I'll take it for that one. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. Let's get the terms up on the screen, and then I'll be right back with the sale inventory. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have just 2 leftovers from last week's sale, and this does not happen very often. I got 2 leftovers. They're both Great Eastern Cutlery, and they're both 15s. What? Here's the first one. It is a Huckleberry boy's knife, model 152118 B&C for bail and chain, in antique yellow jigged bone. So here's the chain, which I believe goes on a vest button. And then here's the knife. It is a 15 boys knife in antique yellow jigged bone, all steel construction, bolsters and liners, and the bail is attached with a leather thong lanyard. Okay. So you got 3.5 inches of closed length on the standard jack, single spear point blade with my greasy fingerprint on it. A little bit of use on this knife. It might have been stropped up. I've got a perfect 7 pull, perfect walk and talk. Centering is pretty close to down the middle. Condition will be near mint in tube with all of its accessories. We ran this last week at $160 on Thursday. Dropped it to $140 for the weekend. It's still here. I can't believe we're selling a number 15 boys knife this week for $130. $145, you like my edge on it? Next day sharpening available. It's one of the first 4. That's in your inventory as GEC number 15 Huckleberry boys knife B&C AYJB for antique yellow jig bone. Next up, looky here. It is another Huckleberry boys knife, model 152118 B&C. This one in OD green linen micarta. So here is your chain with button loop, right? And here's the knife. Beautiful OD green linen micarta. All steel construction, bolsters and aligners. Attached to the bail is a paracord lanyard. Single spear point blade. 7-pull. Exquisite walk and talk. Dead centering. And I think this has probably been used very little. Maybe a little edge wear near the tip, but very little use. 3.5 inches of closed length. We'll call it near mint in tube with all of its accessories. We ran this knife last week at $160 on Thursday, dropped it to $140 for the weekend. It's still here. And just like deja vu all over again, this week's price, $130 like it is, $145 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 4. That's in your inventory as GEC number 15, Huckleberry boys knife B&C OD linen. Next up, oh yeah, you guys are going to like this one. It's a Great Eastern Tidioute knife. It'll be a number 14 Lick Creek boys knife. And that boy on the tube is a childhood picture of my old buddy Lyle Fry from Lick Creek. It is a model 142116. The 16 will be significant. It is in rust red jig bone. It comes with the story of the snake. You don't want to take time to read that now. Wait till you get the knife. Okay, so the Lyle's Lick Creek boys knife, the number 14, a smaller knife than the 15, right? 3 1/16 inches of closed length, gorgeous rust red jig bone, all steel construction. Has a single spear point blade. Now this blade, guys, it's got a little patina. This was the purse knife of my consignor's wife. Single spear, cut, swedge, long pull. Pull weight is about a 6. Perfect walk and talk. Centering is going to be dead down the middle. So why is that model year 16 significant? Because not only does it say year 16 on the tang, it also is stamped TIW. This would be one of the last runs of any knife at GEC with the Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Bevel ground on the old Nicholson grinders before the CNC stuff. That makes it historically significant. And guys are hanging on to these. There are no sold listings in eBay for this knife and this cover material. There are 2 current listings. One of them will cost you $300. The other one will cost you $399. This one with a little bit of carry, a little bit of patina. $150 like it is, $165 with my edge on it. Now you can find some under that price, but they're going to be 2018. CNC ground knives. So get this piece of history while you can. That's in your inventory as GEC Tidioute number 14 Lick Creek Boys Knife. Next up, time to go to Escanaba. We have a Bark River knife. It is a mini Canadian in black canvas micarta. Comes in the fold over style sheath, single position belt loop. It is in black canvas micarta. The blade steel A2. Oh, and what a beautiful little knife in the hand. Blade length on the mini Canadian is 2 7/8 back to the handle, right? So it's really about a 2-inch blade. And then the handle length from the front of the handle to the butt, 3 1/8. Very light use. No real discernible edge wear on this one. These are getting very hard to find, guys. There's one sold listing on eBay for this exact configuration of the mini Canadian. Guess what it did? $276. What? That's this handle material and this steel A2. One sold listing at $276. This one can be yours. Very near mint in box. $150 like it is, $170 with my edge. That's the Bark River Mini Canadian. Next up, well, if you guys have been watching this channel for very long, you know that my favorite EDC fixed blade, pocketable fixed blade, is this knife right here. From Bark River, we have a Featherweight Fox River in L-Max. There is your folded, very, very stylish sheath. This will absolutely go in your front pocket, wearing a pair of Levi's, or you can put it on the belt, either one. Beautiful thin blade. I think that's less than an 1/8 inch. Stock thickness. Beautiful distal taper. Full height, very gradual convex. Blade length is 3 3/16 of L-Max steel. Black canvas micarta handle. Why do I love it? It's because it's so beautiful. You've got a full 4-finger grip in the saber grip. If you go to the pinch, barely get 4 fingers inside inside the horn. It pinches super securely. Very efficient. Lots of blade. 3 3/16 of blade, 4 1/16 handle. Super slick, super slicey. You know, of the Featherweight Fox River, the Bravo EDC, the Mini Aurora, and the ULB, this is my favorite one. It's the sliciest one. Unless you take a ULB and full height it like I did. Anyway. It's near mint in box. Very light use. They're out of stock. I found no comps. Current or sold listings on eBay. Very hard to find knife. Your price on this one's going to be $180 like it is. $205 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Bark River Featherweight Fox River. Next up, probably, well, it's definitely the most special fixed blade in tonight's sale. I don't know what happened to these. Also a Bark River made in Escanaba, Michigan, USA. It is the Guardless Drop Point Hunter in CPM 154. They're all CPM 154 because they only ran them one time. Comes in this stunning pancake sheath. So you'll be able to go 3 positions, well actually 4. You can go horizontal, you can go cross draw, or you can go vertical on either side. So is that, that may be like 6 positions, I don't know. Nicely made sheath. Inside the sheath comes this beauty. So, blade looks a lot like a classic drop point hunter. Very high convex. But look at that handle. I don't know because I've never asked, but I see Jim Stewart written all over that handle. No guard, but it's kind of got its like a self sub-hilt. And in the hand, guys, oh my. It's beautiful. And this little scallop right here at the front of the handle, it kind of lets you creep forward. So if you're like me, and you got, when you gut a deer, you got both hands up in the cavity. I don't split the sternum. So I like to come forward. I like to know where my tip is because my other hand might be in proximity. I like that forward pinch, and it loves that. It just loves it. This one in black canvas, stainless blade. That's a hunting knife right there, guys. They only made them one time. 3 7/8 inch blade, 4 5/8 handle, everything super well proportioned, never used or carried. So it'll be near mint to like new in box. These rarely come up for sale. There are no sold price references in eBay, but there is one current listing at $2.99. First and only production run, guys. You can buy this one though, not for $2.99. How about $2.25 shipped, priority mail? $2.45. You'd like it with my edge on it. That is the Bark River Guardless drop point hunter. That's a knife that you're going to want to hunt with it, but you're also going to want to tuck it away because they probably won't make it again. They've only made it once. It's going up in value. Next up, we have reached the tops knives portion of tonight's sale. We're going to kick it off with this beauty. The Tops Operator 7 Blackout Edition. We'll start with this beautifully made Kydex sheath. I mean beautifully made. You got the steel swivel clip. Here's what, this is a heavy knife, guys. And listen, there's no rattle. That's a super fine hunk of Kydex right there. But the knife releases beautifully. Look at that, would ya? Beautiful fuller, gorgeous recurve spear point. Blade length is 7 1/4 of crinkle coat epoxy, 1075 blade steel. The handle is super cool. The outside of the scale is 3D machine blasted G10. Then you got a red liner. Then you've got a layer of black canvas micarta, and then a black G10 liner, I believe. Super thick blade stock. Looks like 5/16 to me. That is a hunk. And then you've got some aluminum tubes for spear lashing. You can also use the slots in the guard for that. So you're going to get super secure lashing if you want to attach it to a stick. Nice drain hole in the Kydex. That's a squared away package. It is like new, no box. They're currently out of stock everywhere. You can pre-order one at Knife Center for $203 plus tax. You can have this one now. No box, who cares? $165 like it is. $195 you'd like it with my edge on. That's the Tops Operator 7 Blackout Edition. Next up, another one from Tops. This is kind of a save me from myself knife, actually. So we've got the normal ballistic nylon top sheath with the front pouch with elastic retention. You've got the plastic liner in the sheath, double Velcro closures. And would you look at that? Oh, 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 oh. It's the Longhorn Bowie 6 3/4 inches of 1095 with the river wash finish. And kind of interesting, we got white liners and black canvas micarta. Is that black? Yeah. A crowned spine, and then a proud tang that is chamfered. I can come here. I can come here. I can come here. I can come back here. Can I reverse it? Oh, are you kidding me? Of course I can reverse it. That is a hunk right there, boys and girls. So yeah, 6 1/4 handle, 6 3/4 blade. Near mint to like new, no box. You can buy these brand new. They are in stock, I believe. They will run you $182 plus tax, maybe shipping, depending on where you get it. Or just buy this one for $155, all in, shipped, priority mail. $185 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the Topps Longhorn Bowie. Next up, this is going to be the steal of the night. So we've seen this model before, and we've seen this condition on this model before. We have the Topps Wild Pig Hunter. This one with an ApostleP edge. Now it comes with a very nice, beautifully oiled leather sheath with leg thong lashing ability. We've got OD canvas micarta, orange liners. This one's got a little paracord lanyard tied on. Now this has got the, it's 1095 steel, and it comes with something called the Sniper Gray finish, which is basically no finish at all, because that's what happens when you store it in the sheath. Little spotty orange crap rust all over. Can you believe that? This consignor paid me to sharpen it, and by the way, my edge has very little or no rust on it because it's polished, right? It's polished convex. But my gracious, would you look at that? Anyhow, you're going to get a deal because of that. 1095 steel, 7 9/16 inches of blade length, a milled fuller, so it slides effortlessly between the ribs under the shoulder blade of that 300-pound Russian boar and takes its freaking breath away. That's what it's made to do. Handle length, 5 7/16. It would be near mint, no box, but it's got a bunch of rust on it. It'll be in your inventory as Topps Wild Pig Hunter TAP for the ApostleP Edge and rust. Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer is going to be $202 plus tax. If you want to go out and kill pigs or other various outdoor tasks at which it might excel, it's only going to cost you $95, guys. $95, absolutely no need to sharpen it. That's the Topps Wild Pig Hunter. Next up, it is Luminox time. Luminox time. Inside this box, we have a watch. Reference number 3517.nq.set. Inside this here sleeve, we have a pelicanish box. Inside that, we got a hang tag, we got some owner's manual material, we've got a nylon NATO, and we have a spring bar tool. Yes, we do. And somewhere around here there's a watch. Let me see if I can find it. Jeez, that sleeve just does not work with that case at all. Okay. Here's the watch. You guys have seen this in some of my heads up videos, I believe. So what you got here is the Carbonox case, which is I guess it's probably pretty similar to like a Benchmade CF Elite scale. So a lot of carbon fiber in an FRN product. Maybe like a Glock pistol. You have a milled case back in 316L stainless steel with the Navy SEALs insignia. This is the Navy SEALs model. Man, I got stuff all over that thing. Let's see. Some idiot wore this outside. Oh, it must have been me. There we go. We got a Swiss Ronda quartz. And I want you to look at that seconds hand, my friends. It's a Ronda that hits every tick. So it must be a good one. And I wore this a little bit. It's I've had it in about a month. And it's running about +2 seconds a week. 1.5, 2 seconds a week. 45 millimeter diameter. 52 lug to lug. 24 lug width. 14 thick. You got the double gasket crown. It does not screw down, but it does carry 200 meters of water resistance. You got a unidirectional 60 click bezel. Pretty nice bezel action. It seemed like when I first got it, it had like a tight spot here or there, but it has smoothed right out. You have, I believe, 16 tritium tubes. Is that right? Yeah. So one for each hour. And I believe 12 o'clock is orange, and the rest of them are green. And the minute hand is orange. And I will tell you one thing, guys. The bezel pip, that tube is so small, you can barely see it, if at all. Even in the middle of the night after your eyes adjust. The other tritium vials seem to drown it out. But overall, super nice watch. The rubber strap is awesome, and I think it says genuine rubber. Nice double pin buckle. One keeper kind of stays put, floats just a little bit, and then this one is like infinitely adjustable. I don't think there's a mark on this watch. If there is, I don't know where. Very wearable for its size. It's very near mint in box. I think these are $445 if you get the set like this one with the spring bar tool and the extra strap. This one can be yours. How about this, guys? $200. $200, no need to sharpen. That's the Luminox Navy SEALs 3517 NQ set. Next up, oh, it's time for the Spidey show. Yes, it is. From Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. I've got a military in Burple G10 S110V blade. Yes, we do. That is 5.5 inches of handle. Inside resides an S110V blade with my fingerprints all over it. 4 1/16 inches of S110V. I've got dead rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. I don't think it's quite a free dropper, but very close. And the blade centering will be very close to perfect, if not perfect. I think it might be just to the right, ever so slightly. Very near mint to like new in box. These are actually in stock right now at your favorite web retailer. You can buy a new one for $245 plus tax, or buy this one for $195 like it is. $220 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Spyderco Military Burple S110. Next up, here's a little sweetie. Comes in the diminutive Spidey box. It is a Dragonfly 2 BKOD FRN. DLT Trading exclusive, and they're out of stock, of course. Look at that gorgeous OD green FRN. And then I've got a DLC coated blade in CPM CruWear. Even the clip is DLC coated. the deep carry ambidextrous tip-up wire clip. Blade action is plenty fine. Blade centering will be perfect if you can see it. And the lockup, dead rock solid. How about that? Condition is like new in the box. These are out of stock at DLT. Used ones are selling on eBay, according to the sold listings, between $165 and $209 for a Dragonfly. Guess what, guys? We're not going to hold you up. Let's do $130 like it is, $150 sharpened on the Spyderco Dragonfly 2 OD CruWear. Next up, this is so funny. Because let's face it, when this knife model came out in black G10 and S30V, it was kind of big, it was kind of chunky, guys didn't love it, and then they started doing these sprints. Like this one. And all of a sudden, the ugly fat girl, the Shaman, caught fire. And really, it's this exact configuration that started it. Yeah. It's a Shaman with burnt orange G10 and Rex of 45 steel. Oh, look at that burnt orange. It's so stunning. Isn't it? Look at that. Yeah. Big beefy compression lock. 3D machine. Blasted G10. Kind of a tumble polished clip. Satin blade. In Rex 45. And let's see. How's our action? Oh, beautiful. Centering, pretty doggone nice. Condition, like new in the box. This sprint run is discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay between $375 and $390. I think there were just two of them. Between $375 and $390. How about we do on this one $325? $325 like it is. $350 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available. It's one of the first four. Yeah, it's kind of the Grail Shaman. Next up, I told you yesterday we were going to have some special ones. Here's another one. From Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. I've got a paramilitary 2. CU Rex 45. CU, for those of you who are not aware, is the chemical symbol for copper on your periodic table. Therefore, this knife has beautifully stonewashed copper scales. Look, it is like new in box, therefore the clip has never been moved to the correct position. Oh, yeah. Action's just fine. Lockup is dead rock solid. The centering on this one blows, just so you know. You might be able to mess with it and get it better, but that's where it is. It is like new in the box, however. Like new in the box. This is a Blade HQ exclusive. Oh, and by the way, they're out. Can't buy one. Probably discontinued. Definitely out of stock. I found one of these in sold listings on eBay. It did $303. $303. This one has a little centering issue, so guess what? We're going to make you a deal. Let's do $260 like it is. $285 with my edge. Spyderco Pair 2. CU Rex 45 in your inventory. Next up. It's another one from Spyderco, another one from Golden, and another paramilitary too. It says CPM CruWear on the box. But Rob, what scales does it have? How about natural canvas micarta. Look at that. Like no hand oil penetration. It's barely been out of the box, just long enough to move the clip. There is your CruWear blade. Beautifully ground on this one, by the way. Lock up, dead rock solid. Free drop in action. Centering is dead. It's a beautiful example. It's like new in the box. Let's see, these are actually in stock. It is a sprint run, but you can buy one brand new. It'll cost you $189 plus tax. Or you can just buy this brand new. Perfect example for $170 all in, no tax, and shipped priority mail. $190 if you like my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Pair 2 Nat.Can CruWear. Next up, you know, we were talking about the Shaman a while ago. It's funny what happened. The unpopular Fat Girl at the Prom, the Shaman, didn't sell. Then they made the Sprints, the dealer exclusive. It caught fire. And guess what happened? The base models started going up in value. And what's what we got? We got a base value, or base model. 3D machine, blasted black G10. Kind of an acid stonewash on the clip and on the blade, which is S30V. It's kind of beautiful in a very ugly way. Look at that free drop in action. Lock solid, just rock solid lock up. And the centering on this one is beautiful. Not going to find a better example of a plain Jane S30V Black G10 Shaman than this one. Guess what? They're never in stock anymore. The regular old plain Janer is out of stock. When they were available last, they were at $231, the minimum advertised web price, and they're gone. This one, near mint to like new. How about $195 shipped priority mail all in? $215 with my edge. That is Spyderco Shaman BK S30V in your inventory. Got to turn the page. Be right back. Next up, and our final Spyderco at the party. From Taichung, Taiwan, it is the Amalgam. Yes, it is the Spyderco Amalgam. Handled in that beautifully textured carbon fiber over G10 laminate. Looks like we'll have an ambidextrous tip-up clip on this one. Compression lock and a ball bearing flipper. That frankly is not the best ergonomic flipper because your finger kind of runs into the lock as it's engaging. And then the flipper kind of wants to hit your finger when it's coming closed. The detent is sort of weak. But when it's open and in use, it's a beautiful pocket knife. Lie design. Big old blade. 3 13/16 inches of S30V. 5 1/16 handle. You can come here. You can come here. Beautiful full flat ground spear point. Lock up, rock solid. You saw the action. It's just fine. Blade centering is going to be close. I don't know. Could you call it perfect? Maybe not quite. It is like new in the box. Let's see. These are currently in stock and available. They'll be $217 at your favorite online retailer. I found 2 sold listings of pre-owned knives on eBay. They were both $178 sold. This one, $160 all in, no sales tax, shipped priority mail. $180 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Amalgam. Next up, how can this be? It's not the Rob's Pick. It's a Benchmade. It is a 560 BK-1 Super Freek. We know this knife, guys. Beautifully milled black and gray G10 handle scales. Red liners, red aluminum standoffs. I see just a little pocket lint. Parkerized split arrow clip. A Cerakoted blade in CPM M4. Lockup is dead rock solid. Oh, action is super sweet. Centering is perfect. It is near mint. Only thing keeping it from being like new, a little pocket lint. They are currently back in stock at your favorite web retailer for $225. This one can be yours. And could it be more perfect? How about $190 like it is, $215 with an ApostleP edge. Benchmade 560 BK-1 Super Freek. Next up, it is another save me from myself moment from Demko Knives. It is an AD20. Inside this here baggie are the original orange FRN scales. But this baggie is for a pair of RGT scales in double black linen. Which the knife is wearing. We retained the orange backspacer. Looks pretty cool. We've got a blade in AUS 10A, a clip point, saber ground with a slot. Now, I don't know if they offered these with two clips. This one only has the right hand clip, if that's the case. Scorpion lock, rock solid. You pull back on that, and with a ball bearing mechanism, it swings closed. There we go. 3 1/4 inches of blade, 4 7/16 inches of handle. Now, in orange FRN with an AUS 10A blade, you can't buy this knife anymore. Can't even find one on eBay. They were about $150 when they were new. The scales sold for $60. So I believe that's $210 total, right? Let's do on this one $160 near mint in box, $180 with my edge. That's the Demko AD20 custom scale. Next up, a close relative. It's a cold steel AD10 in my kind of favorite configuration. The 3D machine and blasted black G10. Big old Demko style clip. The lefty clip is in the box. Aluminum liners. Triad lock. Super fine action. Gorgeous bidirectional satin on the spear point blade. S35VN. 3 5/8 blade. 5 1/4 handle. Is the lockup any good? What do you think? Yeah, action. Nice. Centering. Perfect. Condition. Like new in the box. I actually found this in stock in this configuration a couple different places. For some reason, they range in price from $142 to $191. This one, a perfect example, like new in box, $110, like it is, $130 with my edge. That's the cold steel AD10. Next up, man, this is a beauty. I think they're winning me over. I don't know, maybe it's because of Greg's ridiculous antics. I don't know. Now, I have no outer box with this, but I do have the inner pelicanish case for this Medford knife. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we'll put the ridiculous warranty back in the box. Back in, there you go. Come on. And let's look at the knife. This is the most stunning Praetorian I've ever seen. Whew. It's a Praetorian Genesis, PVD blade and handle, and look at the gold anodized titanium hardware, including the clip, and look at the radiused corners of the handle, also gold anodized. What a beauty. And then you've got the Praetorian Tonto in S35VN. 3 9/16 blade, 4 5/8 handle. It's a titanium frame lock. We don't need no stinking insert because we know how to carburize a lock face. Rock solid lockup. Silky smooth Medford action. And have you ever seen a Medford that's not centered? I don't think I have. Condition on this, near mint, in inner box only. This knife was about $1,000 brand new online retail. You can buy this one $750 like it is, $775. I sharpen it. That is the Medford Praetorian Genesis. Next up, I'm just going to tell you right now, boys, we're going to sell this way too cheap. We all know that logo. It is a Chavez Ultramar Street Rendencion drop point in M390 full titanium. And here it is. Deceptively size efficient are the Chavez knives. We have the Mick Jagger skull clip, but let not your hearts be troubled. If you think that's hideous, we have that one. Handle length, 4 1/8. Blade length, come on, get your fingers off the lock bar, you douche. Come on. There we go. A little bit of death lock there. Look at that. So 4 4 4 4 4 4 and an 1/8 handle. 3 1/4 blade. Less than an inch difference because the pivot is so far forward. And look at that compound ground drop point with the beautiful swedge and bidirectional satin, tridirectional satin, M390. There is your lock engagement with the steel insert and a killer detent, as you guys just saw. Yeah. Perfect centering. Near mint in box. Now these are out of stock everywhere at $335. Man, sold listings on eBay, and there are more than a couple, ranging between, ready for this, between $595 and $850. Are you kidding me? So, what do you think we're going to ask for this one, guys? I don't know. Let's do $325 like it is. $350 with my edge. That's the Chavez Ultramar Street Rendencion drop point. Next up, I don't understand the nomenclature here. The box says tools for gents, right? Tools for gents, tools for gents. Then I got a thing here that says Revenge, and then I don't know, DBK 2022 Team so here's what I don't get. The knife isn't a Tools for Gents knife. It's a PMP Revenge in gorgeous blue anodized and then tumbled titanium with a bead blasted milled titanium clip, steel inserted titanium frame lock, ball bearing flipper, super low profile flipper. Whoops, it's better than that. Kind of a sheep's footy blade, M390, stone washed. This is number 342 out of 350. Blade length is 3 7/8, not a small knife. 5 1/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. Dead centering. Condition on this will be near mint to like new in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. They've moved on to a version 2. When these were new, they were $225. There are none for sale and none recently sold on eBay. Kind of an unobtainium knife. Your price on this one's going to be $190 like it is. $215 if you'd like it with my edge on it. And next day sharpening is available. That's the PMP Revenge. Next up, a joint venture between Lion Steel and CollectorKnives.net. We have, in Mike Latham's Euro Barlow series, a very, very nice, kind of a new bucky Collector Knives embossed slip. And then inside is the round head Barlow. The bronze anodized titanium bolsters, ebony wood covers, 3 3/4 inches closed. It is a half-stop slip joint. Beautiful walk and talk. Gorgeous M390 spear point blade. Cut swedge and long pulls on both sides. Blade centering ought to be perfect. It is. Condition will be near mint to like new inbox with slip. You can buy this knife. I don't believe in the bronze ano, but you can buy the M390 blade and ebony covers right now at Collector Knives for $138. This one can be yours with bronze ano on the titanium for $115 like it is. $135 with my edge. That's the Lion Steel CK Roundhead. Next up, I teased you guys with this one yesterday. It's freaking stunning, boys. From Chris Reeve Knives. I got a small Sabenza 31 with natural canvas micarta inlays and double blue lugs. Here's your birth card. Born April 27th of 2020. S35 VN blade. I want you to look at this color combination, boys. Oh. The natural canvas with the blue. Kind of reminds me of my Benchmade custom shop mini Crooked River. What do you guys think about the new inlay shape? I love it. Really, really nice action. Super nice. Lockup would be rock solid, and blade centering will be perfect. Like zero wear on those thumb studs. Just a little bit on the right one. Very near mint to like new inbox. They're out of stock, and I've never seen one like this. Super cool. This knife would be, if it were in stock, $550. Your price? $450, like it is. $470 with my edge. Chris Reeve, small Sabenza 31, Nat.Can in your inventory. Okay, next up, we have reached the steel sharp portion of tonight's sale. Frank Velez from North Carolina, I believe. Frank has been selling knives on my channel for a couple of years now, and they just get better and better. First one is the Steel Sharp New Beginnings. Thank you, Frank, for starting to name your knives. It is an 8670 steel, acid stonewash finish, saber grind, 1/8" brass pins, purple liners, Bubingo wood handles, and a leather sheath. There's your leather sheath, nicely stitched, nicely welted, nicely tooled. Got a snap. And there's the knife. There's Frank's maker's mark. FV. That Bubinga is good looking stuff, guys. There's your dark purple liners, little rawhide lanyard, and this has sort of become Frank's trademark. The bone bead. Blade length on the New Beginnings 3 1/16, handle 3 3/4. Oh, very nice. It pinches, it sabers. It goes in its sheath. How about that? This snap is a little bit of a problem. I'm going to snap it off camera. There we go. There we go. So anyway, your price, brand new from the maker, $140 like it is, $160 my edge. The New Beginnings from Steel Sharp. Next up, another Steel Sharp knife by Frank Velez. It's the Hummingbird. This one also an 8670 steel saber ground, acid wash finish, thick blue liners, 1/8" brass pins, Osage orange handles, and a leather sheath. Kind of the same sheath we just saw. Look at that. Nice little 8670 drop point. Interesting sort of faux forge marks. Looks like about 1/8" stock. Look at that Osage orange, boys. Oh. And the thick blue liners. Leather thong lanyard with bone bead. Again, nice in the hand. Beautiful little knife. Your price on this one, also $140 like it is, $160 sharpened. Brand new from the maker. Next up. Well, if you bought the Hummingbird, you might want to buy this one. This Steel Sharp knife by Frank Velez is the Frontier in 8670 steel, full flat ground, 1/4" brass pins, thick blue liners, Osage orange handles, and a leather sheath. Very nicely made sheath. Fold over belt loop. Nice retention. Look at that, guys. Now he's got some rust preventative material on here, but it's a beautiful satin. Nice spear point. 5 1/4 inches of blade, 4 5/8 inches of handle. There are your thick blue liners, your 1/4" brass pins. Leather lanyard with a bone bead. That looks like camp knife extraordinaire to me. Brand new from the maker. Your price on the Frontier is going to be $160 like it is. $190 if you'd like it with my edge. Next up. Oh! It is another one from Steel Sharp Knives by Frank Velez. This is the Outback in 1095 steel. Flat ground, acid stonewashed. 3/16 brass pins, green liners, black walnut handles, and they're beautiful. And a black Kydex sheath with a spring clip. Yeah. Look at that. It almost looks like an abbreviated machete. like 1/8 inch stock. Super skinny. That thing will slice, man. And look at that black walnut. How's that? Look at that, guys. Ooh. Yeah. So you got 3 13/16 inches of broad blade. 4 1/4 inches of handle. Leather thong lanyard with a bone bead. Oh, that's a Skinner, man. Beautiful knife. Your price with the Kydex, $150 like it is, $170 with my ads. That is the Outback from Steel Sharp. That brings us to the last knife in the sale, and it's from Steel Sharp Knives by Frank Velez. This is the New Horizon in D2 steel flat ground, 3/16 brass pins, thick blue liners, and then what? We're going to have to look. Black paper micarta handles and a leather sheath. I forgot what these liners are. Oh, yeah. So there's your leather sheath, kind of a bushcrafty thing. And I tease you guys about this. It's got a dangle that's removable. So you can ride it low or you can wear it high. This is Frank's Kephart, basically. And we've got some preservative on the blade, but it's a nice satin. 4 1/8 inch, skinny, like less than 1/8 of an inch, full flat ground, nice sharpening choil. There's your black paper micarta. And then you got thick blue, skinny red liners, leather thong with a bone bead, 4 1/8, 4 1/2. Very, very Kepharty, and very, very nice interpretation. Brand new from the maker. Your price on this one, $150, like it is, $170 with an Apostle P edge in D2. That's the Steel Sharp New Horizon. And that, my friends, brings us to the close of another knife sale on a Thursday night on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. Talk to you soon.